We have the pièce de résistance, feature of the evening. Shizue Seigel is a supporter of the arts, creator of events, publisher of anthologies, and a deeply considerate soul. She explores complex intersections of history, culture, and spirituality through prose, poetry, and visual arts. The child of Japanese American incarcerees, she grew up in Baltimore, occupied Japan, and California labor camps, as well as Skid Rows, she wrote. She draws on lived experience as an army brat, the Haight-Ashbury, Indian ashrams, corporate agencies, and HIV prevention in public housing. Through her arts, she organized Right Now, SF Bay, and has supported over 500 writers and artists of color since 2025, or for many years, through workshops, events, and anthologies. Her 9 books include 5 Right Now anthologies and her first poetry collection, Courting a Man Who Does Not Talk. She's been published in anthologies like Her Oics, Women's Lived Experience of the Pandemic, We've Been Too Patient, Voices from Radical Mental Health, All the Women in My Family Sing, Your Golden Sun Still Shines, Empty Shoes, which is about poems on the hungry and the homeless. Her poetry and artwork were published most recently in Discovering Nikai, Blue Mesa, Dreams and Memories, Journal X, and Porter Gulch Review. A wonderful, powerful, and compassionate voice, ladies and gentlemen, is what you're about to hear. And Shizue, so welcome, so wonderful to have you here. I am going to mute me and turn the mic to you.
Thank you, Dan. I hope I can live up to that introduction. Anyway, I was going to read from my poetry collection, Courting a Man Who Doesn't Talk, and I will do that, but I had to give a nod to the fact that the last week has been pretty horrible. So, trigger warning, the orange-headed one who has gotten a new hairstylist figures in the first poem, and then there's one after that that also is sort of political. Hey, you with the bleach blonde hair, you better stick to the limelight behind your podium and police barriers, your armed guards and publicists. Take plenty of Ambien tonight to keep away the yellow-toothed demons of your own desires. Your armor-plated limos cannot outrun the fear that seeps into your veins at night. We are too many for you to kill us all. Daily we nibble away at your foundations, poison your food, scent your sheets with cyanide. Not in fact, but in our thoughts. We don't have to do a thing. You will choke on your own terror. Your demon was in you before you were born. You cannot kill that which has been dead for decades, maybe lifetimes. Your parents tortured you for your own good, starved your heart, and stamped it out before you had words to know you needed one. Your dad counted his wealth in nails salvaged from construction sites, never said that real gold lives in people's hearts, transmits from eye to eye like sparkles of light. You never got it. You and your bully buddies will all die, figuratively, upside down from lamp posts, knowing you failed. All the gold in the world, all the whips and chains and lies cannot stamp out the love that bubbles out of the ground for anyone who can still find his heart. Invocation of America the Blanktiful. A dream without boundaries. This is in Abecedarian. A dream without boundaries, beautiful, bountiful, borderless, boundless, bounty hunters banished, carless, uncrashed, uncrazed, crassness incarcerated, curiously crazy in a good way, dominators diminished, dreams cherished in bemused amazement, eagles reclaimed as emissaries of endlessly eternal spirit, flying high, feathers wafting from the forever fathomless sky, great spirit habitating the heights, not engraved in granite, incised on currency, infused with bloodlust. Let us join in unjacketed freedom, unjammed, unjailed, joyously trusting in what is beyond our ken. KKK-less, clan and kennel free, no leashes. Forget the lashes scarring our multi-generational memories. Reclaim the multitudes, magnificent mountains, never eradicated, ever present, even in deepest night. Take back oracular visions, oculus of the unoccupied, open hearted, open palmed, pristine of policy, of politesse, of prisons of the mind and heart. Rescue ourselves from rusting bars. They decay as we speak. Swallow not our tears, spit them out, swim in them, until the torrent tears down tyranny that rides the backs of the unseen, ill used, underpaid. United we stand, filled, fed by underground streams, vanished but still visible, vibrant as justice, reverberating with hope. We don't need weapons. We will wear you down by the weight of our combined wisdom, welling up through the eons, exactly, exceedingly, excessively alive. Yes, you cannot zero us. So now I'm going to move into some poems from my book. It starts out, I was working in corporate ad agencies when, when the book begins 30 years ago. Tokens and targets. Freshly minted seekers come west and bump the edge of the continent, looking to find themselves, to conquer El Dorado, transform the world, but mostly panning for treasures already claimed, tracing tracks of previous pioneers, expecting new wardrobes to transform them while their hometown minds tag along unbidden, morphing their brave new world into something they can claim as home. The city is progressive by repute, but reality supports rebellion by fits and starts. Radicals iconized, caricatures with beards and sandals, tie dye and patchwork, black leather, slogan shirts that preclude the need to think for themselves. Seekers come to find themselves only to lose themselves in another label. They show colors that would be condemned at home, but even in San Francisco, the color of power is green and diversity is doled out in tokens. Only two Asian Americans on our floor of 30 creatives and 50 suits. Jeans on Fridays, tie dye only on Halloween. Latinos and gays undercover. Um, Black faces in security, affirmative action, Chinese, Filipino, and Mexicans exiled to purchasing and shipping. Double points for immigrants. Wear a yellow face on the 27th floor is an act of courage in a covert war that no one speaks of. What hope of being cherished when simple survival is a daily goal? So, yeah. At that time, I was 40-ish and had been through a few relationships that hadn't worked out and figured out a few things. Some men, some men don't talk. They let their wives do it. Some men act like their words are gold and when what's said can never be undone. So they don't say a thing. Just go out back and chop up a tree, because things might change, you never know. When they don't know, they just do. They go out back and work on their wall. What did I do now? He says when she cries. Well, I thought, did I say anything? No, but you acted like. Some wives feel all they have is words. worthless as pennies tossed in a jar. Words bounce off his face without leaving a mark. But the wives don't do a thing, just sit in the house and stew. 'Cause things might change, you never know. When they don't know, they just feel. They stay at home feeling ever so small. Why didn't you do something? He says when she cries. Well, I thought, did I say anything? No, but it felt like. Okay. Mark my words. You blink your eyes when I open my mouth. Close up shop like a small town Sunday. Lock the door, pull down the shutters, but you can't roll up the sidewalk. My words will collect unopened like newspapers mushing in the rain. Soon enough, I'll scrape them up. Maybe with enough milk and sugar and spice, you'll eat my words like oatmeal in the morning. Okay, seasoned. They call us cougars now, with a touch of derision, or worse. They used to burn us as witches. Crones are supposed to ride broomsticks, not bikes. In ancient lore, big cats were leaders. Proud, tough, scarred. We could eat you alive if we cared to.
You're
But
going to hear this, Nicole. She's just sorry.
we only snarl when the soulless encroach. We thrive in the wild. Leave us alone to prowl. Better yet, make us purr. Okay. Wild Rose. It may sound like I hate men, but I actually like men quite a bit. Just you have to stand up to them though. You can't be too nice. Anyway, Wild Rose. Such a gentle bloom, fragile on a slender stalk, befurred by slender spikes. It hides in shadelands by the creek, milky pale against the deeper greens, its moth-like leaves bound less by structure than common inclination. Not bred for show or cultivation, nor meant for captive vases. A man's heart is a shy bloom. It shrinks from close examination. So I'm going to skip through a bunch of the book. If you actually want to know the progress of this relationship, you'll have to buy the book. I'm going to sort of skip towards the end. Acid. Your facade is like a smooth, round nut, hard-shelled macadamia, featureless polish, shielding creamy flesh within. Outside bland, without grit, no seams, no pits, no projections, no place for the hands to grip. Smooth on smooth, slips under pressure like marble shot out of a clenching fist. My edges might mar your unscarred veneer. My depressions might snag. My acid bites deep. Why does the jagged attract you? Dust up. You keep your feelings so banal, trimmed to fit an ordered life. Yet even a schoolboy's maunderings contain this clash of kings. Do you seek safety in the small? I want the angry man to match me toe to toe, eye flash to eye flash. Let's meet as equals, turning and twisting in intricate dance, a game with no winners or losers. Don't turn away. Don't hide your lightning in the fog. Else we clash like titans. We'll both shrink away like paper ghosts, turn to dust and blow away. Without a clue. It's hard to be a good man, to thread between caution and fear, valor and bluster, between duty and drabness, diplomacy and deceit, how to distinguish the free from the feckless, the bold from the reckless, lust from love, and pride from esteem, how to separate king from despot and partner from slave, the wise from the clever, and artist from fool. Each conscious step, a new fork in the road, easier to follow another's path or drift without plan. The path to goodness is a faint trail and hard to find. Upset. We were as wed as surfer to his board, teamed as one against forces bigger than us both. Together we skimmed glassy, ever-dropping water, riding tightly on the lip, attuned to subtle necessities, ever ready for quick turns. You cambered to the slightest shift of weight, swung out beneath my heels as I leaned into the groove. Then one day you tipped up suddenly and headed straight for my head. Not literally, by the way. Girl dreams. Did I misinterpret your silent signals? Misread as love those limpid-eyed moments when you were simply making laundry lists in your head? While I was dreaming in the dark at Saturday matinees, memorizing movie star kisses to practice on my pillow at night, you were rescuing earthworms and tracing rusty tracks of rails heading nowhere. You hewed towards the safety of structure, defined connections as bolts and couplers, every section self-supporting, unentwined and unencumbered, carefully constructed not to reveal what holds it all together. Your tongue, grown stiff from disuse, never learned how to lap and lick and lavish, never learned to babble and breathe the inmost secrets of the heart. Ollie Ollie income free. Didn't you hear us call? The hiding is over. We're tired. We're all going home to warm supper and bed and teddy bears. Didn't you hear us calling as you hid beneath the trash where the chill bit through your jacket and nipped your reddened nose? We're sorry we teased you and pretended we didn't care. Maybe you couldn't hear us over the roaring in your eyes as you told yourself over and over again that nobody cared. Maybe you were plotting murder and doom, exploding with ways to make us sorry and show the world how much more you are than a skinny, shy kid with tear-skimmed eyes and a runny nose. Maybe you thought if you hid out long enough, we'd miss you and call out the state troopers or even the National Guard. Maybe if you hid long enough, your tears would dry and no one would laugh. But maybe one day you'll realize that Ollie Ollie includes you, free to come in from the cold. Unbattened. Now that you finally speak, do I really want to hear a lifetime of ignoble thoughts in a single month-long spew? Will I drown in a torrent of tears you've never shed before? Be deafened by the roars of a 3-year-old child in a 6-foot frame? Will I perish under imaginary blows, finally unleashed at the one witness you've learned to trust? Unchecked, undammed, dredged up, the fury of decades is aimed now at me. In 35 years of living, you've tried to be the little man, jamming down feelings while longing and needing and cutting and running. The stink of decay is fierce in the dank little hole you call your heart. You swear there's no room for anything but pain. Do you hate me because I remember who you are? Not boy, but man, not mad, but sane, not fleeing, but standing fast. When this storm passes, you'll recollect that everything you now deny is still true. You are deeply good, and the chain you blame for binding you is anchored firmly in a love you helped create. Daughter of Goddess. I could dance on your head with needles of fire, and sometimes I do. And still you love me in your clear-eyed way. I could rattle the skulls round my waist, thrust my collie blue tongue in your face, and still you listen with rapt absorption. What new dream is this? A man who worships the witness of woman? You open yourself to be straight to the bone, flensed of inertia, brought up by short hairs. You own a thicker hide than I, you son of the Mayflower, raised to be deaf to the shrieking of millions. They whisper in my brown ear what they don't say to your pale face. You can't quite notice what you're given so freely, but oh, you heal me with your listening as I shudder for the suffering of those still mired in ghettos I cannot leave behind. Kolkata widows at burning ghats, restaurant workers with nicotine fingers, field hands bundled up against pesticides, Iraqi war vets with PTSD. Their blood is my blood and yours. 30 years in. I love you in spite of yourself, in spite of your privileged ignorance, in spite of blue eyes fading and blonde hair going, still head in clouds, foot in mouth, mannishly asserting your rightness even when you're wrong, born and bred to put a hand out for the handout, but always ready to give a hand. I love you in spite of your need to please absolutely everyone all the time. Not just me last. You love me because you know deep down I'm the one who truly sees you and truly sees the persistence of your patterns, the depth of your patience, the enduring goodness of your heart. And you love me in spite of myself, in spite of my spite, my biting tongue, my waistline spreading faster than my mind can expand. Still an unwilling doormat, hopeless workaholic, automatic caretaker, and impetuous adventurer. You love me evenly, even when I'm hot, even when I'm cold, even when I'm a scold, scalding your thick skin and kicking your shins because of what you forget again and again. I love you because you are still the quiet to my storm, the one who truly sees me and truly knows my darkest depths, my brightest dreams, the one who cherishes me no matter what.
Boy, great to hear your voice again.
Yeah, unmute, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm removing the spotlight. Let her see and hear.
Wow, that was great.
Bravo,
Shizue.
bravo.
Yeah.
That was so good.
That was fantastic.
Excellent.
Wow.
I
So
love
good.
it, Shizue.
So good.
And I've heard a
Wonderful.
lot of those poems before, and I still like them.
Yeah,
So good. So good.
Right?
Yeah.
excellent, excellent. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's
That's
good
just
to see so many of you here. Sorry, I cut somebody off.
Okay.
Oh,
It just went right into the heart and wrapped all around us with so many wonderful universal themes of great import, both widespread for the collective humanity and personal for the individual.
yeah.
Thank you, thank you.